Well, it's about friggin' time is probably what well over 90% of you are exclaiming at the top of your lungs at this very moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only has finally returned from the grave to finish what he started. And let me tell you, while decoding all of these messages, I honestly had forgotten just how fun it was to discover all of the different codes on my free time. And boy, can I not wait till I give you all the special sauce from within the Book of Bill. I was so giddy about the book that I practically decoded well over 2/3 of the book already as of date. So without further ado, let me not waste any more of your time and let's roll that epic intro. I'm certain that some of you curious viewers have already fast-forwarded into the demise of Bill Cipher and his afterlife post-Weirdmageddon, which is why it'll be something I discuss in a later video. I realize that I'll just simply be sounding like an old tape recorder repeating what everyone else discovered after flicking into the last pages of the back of the book. Besides, here at TMBT, we are all about quality and taking our time a bit, so why not start from the very beginning, shall we? So halfway through the book, oh the irony, Bill presents us with exclusive entries that were cut from Journal 3, allegedly due to Ford not wanting anyone to discover his original relationship with Bill Cipher and other personal details of his own past to remain incognito while within Gravity Falls. And well, without further ado, I present to you the missing pages of Journal 3. It all begins with a lonely Ford at the local cafe, only to be extraordinarily terrible with his social skills, starting off with telling a joke to one of the waitresses only to fail miserably. The code seen at the top left reads Six-Fingered Freak, while the one at the very bottom reads Stanley could have made her laugh. These are more than likely Ford's very own entries, with him implying that not only does he see himself as a lonesome weirdo, but at least his brother would have done a better job at humor. There are even references within this section, including the fact that Ford attempted to take a photo of the hide behind, to which the lumberjacks obviously made fun of him for. The next page, however, is the very first visit of who Ford at first calls as an extra-dimensional deity of knowledge. Of course, referencing none other than Bill Cipher, which in the beginning was a happy-go-lucky friendship, as Ford had even explained to Dipper within the last Mabelcorn episode that they were somewhat even acquaintances before Bill slowly but surely started to unravel his true self.
Bill wasn't always my enemy, Dipper. I used to think he was my friend.
Now their interactions are mildly similar to how Ford had described it within the show, with Bill flattering Ford saying that guys as intelligent as him only come once a century. And then Bill Cipher making a chess metaphor, possibly in reference to when they play interdimensional chess during their first meeting. The book reveals how both Ford and Bill were in cahoots for well over a year, and over the time period, Bill would assist Ford in ghost hunting based on their tier class, which explains the Journal 3 ghost rating system pages. Bill also allegedly showed Ford an 8th color of the rainbow never before perceived by the human eyes, which Ford names the Fordtramarine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think, yeah, Fordtramarine. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, I gotta mention this, but Bill Cipher also manages to troll this man by engraving a tattoo onto him that supposedly was supposed to say Wise One in his native language. Yeah, so I actually fact-checked him on that, and by using the Theraprism code made for the book, the code actually translates to, if lost, return to Bill, which I'm guessing was Bill's secret way from the beginning to not only claim ownership of him, but to insinuate that whenever Ford is lost, he should depend on him and him alone, which is only a recipe for disaster considering the fact that he is a literal demon. Oh yeah, and for those of you who are curious about the new coding symbols, we got a major hint of Bill's Theraprism symbols translations towards the end of the book, with this translation clearly meaning Bill Cipher to be the perfect starting clue. And of course, as always, what would I be without giving thanks to the potential artist / decoder him or herself, Tsunami Holmes, for the decodings. Alright. Now let's continue the story. The very next portion of one of the ripped Journal 3 pages consisted of Ford revealing that his birthday is June 15th, and that his day of birth hadn't felt the same since he parted ways with Stanley. But miraculously, Bill himself uses rats to spell out his name in order to grab his attention and to appear in one of his dreams, only to celebrate his birthday with him while serving him a drink that gets him so intoxicated that he begins to write in almost complete gibberish. And coming from Ford, this is completely out of character just by judging from his exquisite handwriting in general. It just shows you right there how strong and incredibly toxic that drink that Bill Cipher served him really was. Oh yeah, and did I mention that within the text bubble, it seems as though Ford is singing Disco Girl like how Dipper would sing.
Don't come in, don't
Now, the next entry is when things get a little bit more interesting, where Stanford should have been starting to question the sanity of Bill Cipher and who he was supposedly befriending at the time. It begins with Ford rambling to Bill Cipher about his twin after witnessing him shamefully faking his name and promoting a scam item with one of the absolute worst slogans of all time. But nothing has come close to the vacuum sale pitch though.
Sir, would you like to buy a StanVac vacuum? StanVac! It sucks more than anything. Gotta work on that.
Anywho, this gets Bill to respond with asking Ford why he hadn't just eaten his inferior twin, as though that was an actual humane choice. But don't worry, it gets better. Bill proceeds on by stating that the people of his dimension held him back and would quote unquote sabotage my talents, and then asked Ford if he was interested in seeing what remained of his now destroyed dimension. You know, coincidentally, since he's the last remaining survivor of it. That is. Ford proceeds on by asking Bill what exactly destroyed his home, which surprisingly gets Bill Cipher to show a more vulnerable side of him that had never been seen before, with Bill simply responding with the answer, by a monster. Ford, being the supportive and innocent friend he was, asked if Bill had seen the monster before, as he was interested hunting down this supposed monster, only to get Bill to respond in a joyous laughter saying, "Sixer, it would eat you alive." And well, why not just end today's part with a cryptic ending? And spoilers, it only gets better from here on out. Trust me when I tell ya. But there's just too much to discuss and quite a bit to unpack. But with all that being said, this has been The Next Big Thing. I can't wait to get more of these entry decodes and discussions with all of you. This has been a bit of a nostalgia ride for me, going through these pages and more all over again. And well, I just can't wait to catch all of you in the next one. Peace!